This day 829 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Like the sponsor comes share more of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. Please kindly directly. We very greatly appreciate it. Today we're doing Timan Simon Tav Kuf Chav Vav. Test through your Dalet. V'da. You should know the Isa the Shabbos. Malcolm Shein B'nei Torah. The place that people are not B'nei Torah. Ain't like bar mace beyond the sheish, not bury a mace. And the Sheni had a soil by a Jew. Kechad lo lizalzlu bay. Or not to make a mockery of Yom Tov Sheni. Yom Tov Sheni. Oh, the Isa Beit Hashem Da'idna Dika Chavre. It says basically the day that there are Chavre Shem Uma, name a certain nation persecuted the Jews. So you call me so Asos Malachlan. They would compel the Jews to do their work. Yom Tov you Matchim Atzmam. And Yom Tov the Jews would push them off. Also allowed to do work. So then in that place, they see the Jews burying their dead on Yom Tov Sheni. They'll decree that they have to do their work. They saw that in that place you should not bury a mace through a Jew. Based on these premises, Rabbeinu Tam rebuked Bir Achaz, certain cities covered beyond the Sheni as they Israel, where they buried a corpse on Yom Tov Sheni via Jews, because they're not Bnei Torah. The Re says the comes away by several things he found they were concerned with people not Bnei Torah. Something which can be eaten raw, in terms of Bishalakum. We're not concerned about this. So therefore, we're not concerned that we're not Bnei Torah. Etc. We are Bnei Torah. Rabbeinu Tam Choshesh Od Neshlo Yatil Asrei Ma Yisrael Shetasi Yadam Eizem Malacha Dachshav Yeshem Meshubanim. The word Rabbeinu Tam is also concerned for the other reason that people might come then to compel Jews to do work on Yom Tov, because there's a place in which Jews are subjugated to the non-Jewish authorities. Most the poskim, actually the Rambam Paskin, and most of the poskim Paskin that the Yom Tov Sheni allowed to bury through a Jew. Some people were concerned about Rabbeinu Tam's opinion. Such because Rabbeinu Mabasiv Dav the Rambam writes about Ashkenaz in Germany, in these countries, Poland. We don't have this custom. Every time it's possible to bury through a non-Jew. We make the grave and the coffin and the shrouds by a non-Jew. The shroud, other things the Jews do, like on the first day Yom Tov. If it's not possible for a non-Jew, they do everything via Jew. Also, the Mutzah of Tara, allowed to do Tara, with sheets and with towels. Answer kash, you don't need to use straw. Give you on tuition like an tuition. Give them mutkam lachas. It's all much permitted. Lochashina and shemi schoto. That concerning might come to squeeze. That feels schoto him. They come to squeeze. And kanis there's no prohibition. Rachizosh lo so schita mamish. Careful not to squeeze outright. Kavana deliberately. She says that they should be meticulous. Also that the sheet should be clean. So otherwise, soaking them with water is like laundering them. That's appropriate to do. And that, as we said above, today we also dig the grave by non-Jewish when we can find one. But it's hard to get the non-Jews to sew the shrouds. They don't know how to sew. No choice but to show them to do it through them. It's not worth going to that tircha teaching them how to do it. The Toifas no shots and women to sew the shrouds themselves. According to the letter of the law, allowed to do everything via a Jew. Some people are macher not to put the dirt back into the grave. Which we do normally on a weekday. We fill it up and make it like a small mound. On top, like kvarim. There's also going to be able to shane the Gemara. So there's also on the shane according to the strict letter of the law. By Jum nation ain't it it's not necessary for the mace. The dial mouse the kever buffer lug bilamala. Even if you say you have to fill up the grave, you don't have to make that little mound. Allowed to cover it with dirt like you do on weekdays. Not like those are machir kind of show. I was saying that more argues and was forbidden. Say the gamuta also look more harkatzon. You're allowed to make a mound. Mamish like actually on a weekday. The gemara kfura, he that's completing the kfura. You have to be some shita shasa rakadein. Yehudi. You have to be obviously also only through a non-Jew would be permitted. I feel like the shame if you minagain or even coin on the sheni according to our minag. Shagafir as a kebra day and Yehudi that we have the graves dug by non-Jew gankin also day Israel. So also by to do via a Jew. Which the word says the imakor from the month sounds like imakor minag on that we do it by non-Jew. Nevertheless, you're not machmir not to have a Jew do it, which is very interesting. Cool of Mishnah Berurah. Avavush kasi understanding yesh osi yesh matir yesh walka kan shon reb. Now you must pass like the bush. Understand those are asking those are matir, and we can make a kan shon. Let's say the name is this. The rice rabbi knows it's the rice involved. Okasu, so therefore the understanding could definitely certainly can make them. Okasu, they also wrote the makam shinogu the they swell place where they bury via Jew lo yachbru anoshim acherim. So that's near chabura gim machbar. Only people in the Chevra condition normally did the graves should dig the graves. Certainly people other than the Chevra should not toss dirt in to close the grave. The more you can diminish who in the scope of the Chilul Shabbos, if you diminish it. Mishnah says unless it's Erev Shabbos right before nightfall, because then everybody wants to do it as quickly as possible because they want to come to Chilul Shabbos, and anybody who participates is Mishubach. Those who say there's no distinction, anybody can fill the kever. The Choshev Rabbanan like Rabbanan made like a weekday. Seems to me like a problem. This like the Rishona, Arukh HaShulchan passing like the first opinion that no, you should diminish the amount of people involved. The Kosher and the Mace, and it was not necessary for absolutely necessary for the dead person to the corpse. Lo Shem for that purpose did not make it like a weekday. Because that was Ches, as like wrote on Siv Ches. Sure brings both opinions. So the Rabbah says it's best to be machmir, like the Arukh HaShulchan says. You base Kasser Rabbi says hey. He says the right. You understand? Somebody who digs a grave for a dead for a corpse and the sheni. Mutzali told the scholars have to get paid. The time reasons came the Choshev bin Rabbanan since they made it like a weekday. We made them mutar b'chol. So also mutar like a weekday, which is just like a weekday take payment, and you understand you take payment. I was talking about if they were standard. The MS. Yes, because the corpse they made it like a weekday. But not vis-a-vis the worker. They're there for those also paying for the work. Even you can't get it for free. Matino, we messed them up. We promised them payment and don't pay. Like to have a to promise a payment. Not give them. He shouldn't be taking a payment for Yontif. Then he is like the Rabbeinu Beis Yosef. Choshev says, I think of Beis Yosef. You're allowed to pay him. You can't Swami Meis Yontif Acher because don't pay him. You can trick him once, then you can't trick him again. Because in that case, if Yontif Meis comes out and no Yontif, learn something. Should say won't find anybody who's willing to do it. It's a time Ikar Heter, and this is the primary reason for that. Then it's only to find somebody who wants to make a buck. He told Schar get paid. To below Schar because there's no payment. So say, why should I bother digging it? You dig it yourself. You're doing in places that there are official grave diggers. Low Etira Ben says not permit to hire others. It's incumbent upon them. The covenant so compel them as part of their job. Only where there are no professional grave diggers was Beis Matter. There's no making money off the mitzvah. Making mitzvah on Yontif, making profit on Yontif. The schar mitzvah mutar tagam b'Shabbos. They don't take schar mitzvah even on Shabbos. Mishnah says some people know. Say you make a mitzvah now take schar. But some say here everybody agrees allowed to take a profit, pay paid because it's kechol shavi rabbanan, but it made like a weekday. Okay, David, he says it's again, Roshon says, okay, it's Chamitzah, much time is Kaf Kup, hey? But a few, which is much later than here, even the permanent grave diggers, Derek L'Shaimim, Achayata, the customs made after Yontik, they should lose Gardels, in order not to close the door, and they will refuse to do in the future. Sorry, they should lose Gardels, being a Kenyan Kazer. I could say blah 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 blah, but like we said, like we said, if you we always use non-Jews for this purpose anyway. Partially, it's obvious that if you're buying shrouds from a non-Jewish store, you would take it without measuring, without mentioning a sum for the price. Ach im muchach litom money if you have to buy from a non-Jewish merchant. He's not be happy without some formal agreement. The mutar it's a mutar and it's also an obligation to buy with him by measure mekach and actual purchase v'shilumos and paying money. It's not possible any other way. The Shubur said it's also true if the seller is a Jew, even though he's doing Avera by making you do it, but if you have to do it, you have no choice. Because it's like we're getting a bunch made like we did. If you have to be short, in the first thing, if near lead the mutter, it's permissible. If it's compelled to do so, the shutz interior gami on the rishon shel mace. The last rabbanans on the other rishon, including Mekach Memkar for the mace. Siv Gimel. Kamachan was topic bezed and he till shel mace. Nevertheless, one can distinguish. Maybe they allowed you to carry the mace. Shehu mukta, even though it's mukta. Like wrote there, perhaps the Rabbana of commercial activity, they're not matir. So it's not clear how to paskin. Lito Mashkin is best give the storekeeper a collateral, a security, and after Yontif, how much he does to pay, you will pay. Back to say, I Taz Sifkan Gimel Tzarchim, but I don't know what the Tzarchim is. You give a mutali of lavos amesi on the region of Chutzatchum. Tochatchum, sorry. You have to take to Levaya on the region, but only within the Tchum Shabbos. Yom Tisheni, if you Chutzatchum, Yom Tisheni, even outside the Tchum. So it says, in other words, on the Yom region, only up to 2,000 hours, not more. Sharatzion, he wrote that it's not clear if if it's even the pallbearers are allowed to go outside of Tchum, or just the Malavim who are not allowed to go out of Tchum. Mishur writes that on the Yom Sheni, even outside 3 parsos, which is 12 mil, it's permitted. But it's only if that's the honor of the mace, but not the honor of the Avelim. So the mace should have 10 people at his kfura, yes, but not necessarily in order to be mechamed the Avelim themselves. And you go back after you bury the mace and the Yom Sheni, you go back home. They're not like people leave the Tchum. Only for Amos came to since they went out with permission. Sheitiru Chachamim Lavosa. Chachamim permit you to accompany this corpse. The Dino Kachol. So it's like anybody goes out with permission. So they go back to their place. Tough Zion. After the Yeshlem, the Bisham Yeshlem Rakin Koman. Even though they only have 2,000 amos back in the other direction. Here it doesn't matter how far the tchum is. You have to go back to the city. Look, if that's not the case, we don't let it to a next time we won't want to do levaya. It's going to be demeaning for the mace. Even they go today and we won't tell, they won't know it's supposed to come back. And when someone gave us there, we'll say, surprise! Now let's go back to asking me, Rechokim Yoiser, which they told me they're more than 2 tchum away. Share our mace. So next time they're not going to come. The Mishnah Bura writes that this is all if there isn't a place to bury him within the tchum. Or there's a place where there is, you can bury it in the tchum, and so you can sit there and eat there. No, that's the other way around. Sorry, it says this is all if in the vicinity of the Beis HaKvaros there's no Jewish community. Like let's say Today, if you take a person, Kamala, it's not to be buried in Passaic or Muncie, there's a Jewish community there, so they can stay there till after Yom Tov. But if there's a Jewish community where they can eat and sit, we won't let them go back home. But up to 4,000 amas, it's possible it's mutter no matter what. I mean, nowadays, if and when it happens, is to go back home. Bill writes, he's not clear in terms of Avelim and the Chevra Kadisha that they normally carry the mace and they get paid, are they allowed to go back? But after 4,000 amas, they're allowed to go back. Okay, he's very matter in this. The Davar Pashu, it's clear, Shim Yesh Nei Drachim Lefneim, if they have two ways to get there, Echad Be'etzem, one of them is the permitted way, Echad Chum, one goes, takes them out to the Chum, Kamo Yeser, a Keshes, like when you have a bow and like the string and the bow, and they can go around to the bow instead of going down to the string. She's part of the Tchumen, as he spoke about the Achos Tchumen, Yel She'echad Derech HaMutar, they should go in the May, which is going to be mutter. Shabbat writes that this is also true if you can be Makatzer. Where you go, you should not go in the long way. Which is interesting. You have to travel on a highway, and theoretically, or the highway is quicker, but off the highway is short as crow flies. How you would do it on Yom Sheni. We also date back the burial tools, the shovels and such like, which took outside Chumim and together with them. If you don't let them take it back, they won't want to take them with them. As you were previously. Because they were afraid they will be stolen. That's the reason. Clean just in the house adjacent to the city if you're afraid, if that will also safeguard it sufficiently. The Ramban writes, they ain't muktzah together. Nationalites are mace but we don't, because they're necessary for another corpse that day. Came in the mechutz tchum, so therefore, since the outside tchum mukhrach lav, you have to bring back bitam akodeim for that previous reason. The low came like doing mahem, because otherwise won't take him with them. Then the gam beisam mutar lachzir, and therefore comes out so they can take it back home. Came and muktzah because they're not muktzah because somebody else might need them. Braga says you're Lashon Magen Avram, but you can down Gum Gumbod, whereas Magen says not clear. Back to the Shagabak Raz, Olivia Cloud, as and the Balatani do not bring down Magen Avram at all.